Hello, Mike. Hi,
Hello.
it's Conor here from Kingdom MMA.
How's it going, mate? You okay?
Yeah, not bad. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, mate.
Good. We appreciate you taking the time to speak to us today.
No worries, pal.
And obviously we've got a lot to discuss with you, so let's jump straight into it. Obviously, firstly, congratulations on a dominant win over Niklas Backstrom. But before we get to that, the fight this past weekend, I've got to ask you about your time away from the cage. Firstly, how did you deal with the loss to Ronnie Bezerra, and how did it affect your career? Because obviously, a first pro loss is always tough to deal with.
Yeah, obviously the loss was devastating. I was gutted. I felt like because I made a mistake so early on, and then obviously I woke up because I wasn't going to tap. I'll never tap for nothing. And I woke up and I realised that, oh man, and when I was in the changing rooms, it was like I didn't even have a fight. I didn't feel like I had lost.
Yeah.
Because it happened so quickly. It's not as though I got beat up for 15 minutes. I just made a mistake early on and he capitalised it because he'd probably been doing jiu-jitsu since he was in a napper. But then obviously after that I was gutted, but then I got back and I had a couple of weeks off for a week. I got straight back in the gym and then obviously I was training for the Manchester card. And at the beginning of the Manchester card, I injured my wrist pretty bad and I should have pulled out then. But I didn't want to pull out because it was another dream come true fighting at the MEN Arena.
Yeah.
Where I've been to that arena tons of times throughout my career, watching things, watching events, and so I got a call. I had an X-ray on the wrist, and there was no bone damage. So I thought I've only sprained it. So I had a cortisone injection, which is like a painkiller injection.
Right.
And it numbed the pain, but not properly. So I carried on training, acting as normal, and then a week out, I think I had like one of my last sparring sessions, or I think I had 2 sparring sessions left, and someone threw me, and my hamstring just pinged, it just went, and it was like, there was no, my legs, up to that, my hamstrings felt normal. It was like, why has this happened? And I couldn't even walk. I had to get carried out of the gym, I got carried to the car, carried home, and then I was having treatment on it straight away, so there was no way of me fighting then, so I had to pull out because I was bedbound. And then obviously I went to the show. I was on crutches and it was just horrible. I didn't even go. It made me feel worse.
Yeah.
And then obviously then Christmas came then, and then I was just depressed. It was horrible. It was including Christmas. I was eating because that's what people do at Christmas. And obviously people were drinking, so I'm going out. And the thing is, my wrist was sore, and I couldn't do. There was no kind of training what I could have done. Anyway, I couldn't have done any punching, I couldn't do any weights to the wrist, I couldn't do any running because of the hamstring. I was literally doing nothing. And then it was horrible. I was in a really, really low place in my life. I've never been that low. I kind of hit rock bottom. And then in January, the pain got even worse with my wrist. So I was like, why? I'm not even trained, so why is my wrist getting worse? So then I got in touch with the UFC and they sorted an MRI scan out, and the results came back, and I'd actually snapped the ligament when I first injured it clean, and all my bones twisted in my wrist, and I needed surgery straight away. So that was another thing. I was like, oh, for God's sake, I can do something else now. Yeah. So I was even more down then, and then obviously when I had the surgery, I kind of uplifted then because I knew it couldn't have got any worse. It was like, I've had the surgery now. And then I did nothing for 10 days. Then I was sat on the couch. And then after 10 days of being on the couch, I got up, went to the gym, and I did what I could. And every single day I was in the gym with my coach, and by myself, just learning new things, just watching things, learning new footwork, doing kicks, what I've never done kicks before, so I'm a dummy. Just going in the gym every day, hitting this dummy and kicking it and learning new things and doing whatever. And then obviously, step by step, having good physio, Spire in Manchester, I started to be able to do more things. I was very disciplined with my rehab as well. I weren't trying to jump the gun. I didn't want to get set back again. And I just got fitter. I got better and better. My wrist got stronger, and then I got the fight. And I actually asked for the fight in Sweden because I knew that I would have been more than ready. They wanted me to fight in September, my management. Right. But I knew that I would have been more than ready for October for Sweden show. And it weren't that far away. It was only a 2-hour flight. So he's always worked it perfect, and the cam went perfect. It couldn't have done any better.
Right. And during, obviously, your tough time away, did you ever seriously consider your future as a fighter?
No, I knew I was going to fight again. It was just a matter of when. Because I'll never give up. I'm not one for quitting. I don't quit in anything I do in life. And I seen it all as a test. It was all a test for my path in life and what path I chose to take. And I look at everything happens for a reason. Everything does. There was no reason for my hamstring to just go like that. But it went for a reason because it would have made my wrist. I feel like that happened because my wrist wasn't right. I needed to get my wrist sorted. So everything happens for a reason, I believe in, and there was no. I knew I was going to fight again. It was a matter of when. I just took it day by day, got better day by day, got fitter day by day, and it all went to plan.
Obviously, it was around 16 months that you were out of the game. Did you fear that ring rust could potentially play a factor in your return?
No, I don't believe in ring rust at all. I think the weak use ring rust if they have a bad performance. Yeah. Because obviously, if I had a really bad performance, I probably might have said, "Oh, it might have been ring rust," but I don't make excuses for myself. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I also run a Jason Furry square. I ain't gonna make excuses. I fucked up. And even if I had a bad fight on the weekend, I wouldn't have blamed it on ring rust because you sound like a dickhead making excuses. No, ring rust is nothing because I just knocked him out in a minute and walked. So it doesn't even exist. People use it as an excuse. Yeah.
Well, let's get to the fight this past weekend. Obviously, it was a tremendous knockout victory for you against Backstrom. But being a sizable underdog going into the bout, did that give you extra motivation to succeed, or do you not look at what the bookies are saying?
I don't look at what the bookies are saying, and to be honest, I knew that was the underdog. And to be honest, I've been the underdog my whole career. My first professional fight, I weighed in at 74 kilo. My opponent was 84 kilo. It didn't bother me. Nothing phases me. It's just a fight at the end of the day. I've grown up. I played rugby all my life against, but I was smallest on the pitch. It doesn't bother me. Size doesn't mean nothing to me. I'm the smallest in my gym. It doesn't mean nothing to me. I was the underdog. It doesn't mean nothing to me. At the end of the day, it's only because of people's opinions. People feel a difference. I don't think about what other people are saying. I don't care what people are saying. I've got one job to do, is to go in there and beat Niklas Backstrom, and I already visioned that I was going to get the win.
And before the fight, he kind of disrespected you a little bit, labelling you a sacrificial lamb. How did you react to those comments?
Yeah, well, I already had so much fuel on the fire with the year what I had. Yeah. And so that was just extra fuel to the fire. And it was a bit of sweet when I knocked him out clean after everything that he said. It's like, there was no reason to disrespect me. And then once I'd knocked him out, I wasn't going to let go until the ref pulled me off him. Yeah. It was like, it was, to me, every time I enter that octagon, it's kill or be killed. Yeah. Because if I lose a fight, and I lose another fight or whatever, it's my life at the end of the day, and if I lose that, then I've got nothing. So to me, it's kill or be killed.
And obviously, trash talk from an opponent can obviously inspire you to train harder, but on the flip side, it can make your opponent possibly too comfortable in the cage. Did you ever think that maybe he took your abilities for granted?
Yeah, definitely, because he thought I was coming over because obviously he come off a good win. He got a bonus. He wanted to be on the main event in Sweden. So obviously they're bringing me over. He's not fought in over a year, coming off a loss, and so he's thinking, they're bringing him over for him to lose. But fair enough if you're going to think that, but you just don't disrespect any other fighters. There's no point in disrespecting other fighters, and everything. It was all meant to be. It was like, what was your question again?
That obviously he kept coming into the fight disrespecting you, but on the flip side, that could make him too comfortable in the ring.
That was it. Yeah. He obviously as well. He would have gone off my last performances against Brendan, Honey Jason. I'm not that fighter anymore. This layoff. Because I've been in the gym. It's not as I've just been sat at home. I've been in the gym every day, and I've developed as a fighter. And all my areas of aspects of MMA, I'm a lot better. So I knew that he was underestimating me, and I knew he was going to pay for it.
I want to speak to you a little bit more in detail about the actual fight. During the opening exchanges of it, it looked as if he'd established his range with the front kick before you landed that countering right hand. What were your thoughts on your performance, and was countering his leaping strikes part of the overall game plan?
Yeah, I drilled. As soon as I got the fight, I knew how tall he was. I thought, right, over and right. And if you watch a teammate of mine who's not fought in a while, but Paul Cahoon against Elvis Sinosic for the cage rage title, he caught him with that exact same punch, and I knew if I drilled him that punch every day in training and on the pads, I knew that if I landed that, I was going to knock him out. And my game plan was to move to the right, and if you see that's all I was doing, in and out, keep him guessing, move to the right. And yeah, he's got really long legs, and he caught me. But in the fight, I can take obviously from the Brendan Loughnane fight. Brendan can punch, and everyone in my gym can punch, and I know I can take a shot. And I didn't even feel since I watched it back, I didn't feel like he even that he actually hit me. I just remember moving about, and I kept moving over and right. It's one of them. You can't expect to get in a shower and not get wet. You're in a fight, you're gonna get it. And I'll take one to give one, because I know that when I give one, they're going to pay a lot worse than what I will.
And obviously, he ended up paying the ultimate price with his consciousness. But during the post-fight interview, he decided to take the mic, and that was a really bizarre scene. Can you explain the incident, what actually happened?
Yeah, obviously, he was still out of it, because if you see the thing, I think he's saying to his cornerman beforehand, I wasn't out, and they're going, yeah, you was out. And when I got choked out clean, it took me, when I woke up, it was like, what happened? And then it was like, and then you realise what happened. I kind of realised straight away, because of only Jason fight, if you watch it, you can see that I realised. I don't think he'd realised what had happened, and I think that's why it was, he weren't being disrespectful, he weren't just thinking, but he was still out of it, so we didn't really know what was happening. But unluckily, he just come across like a mega dickhead. Yeah.
Did you speak to him at all about it after the fight?
Yeah, not after the fight, but in the hotel. Obviously, I've posted a picture of us both. He's a really nice person. Yeah. Obviously, he was just trying to sell the fight, and obviously, he was trying to get in my head, but you can't get in my head. So he was just doing his job, and I did my job, and he is a really nice person. But unluckily, he got knocked out.
And there was one other thing visibly in the post-fight interview. Obviously, he was the hometown favourite, so people were going to cheer for him. But they seemed to be extra hostile towards you. How did you react to that? It looked like you were soaking it all in.
Yeah, because from the Brazil one, I don't think it could get worse than Brazil. That was pretty bad. Even though they were nice people, they just loved their own. Yeah. And obviously Sweden do as well. But I've visioned it all. I visioned all these boos. With Brazil, I didn't vision them. It was like, I kind of did, but I didn't think it was going to be that bad.
Right.
But with this one, I visioned the boos, and I ignored the boos. It was like, whatever. But when he was getting the cheers, I pretended they were cheering for me, and it'd give me a buzz. It'd give me a rush. It was like, I was just pretending. That's what you got to do. Yeah. Just pretend they're cheering for you. That's all I did. And I was soaking it all in, getting all their energy, and then I just let it go in the octagon.
Well, before we talk about what could be next for you, there's one thing I have to ask you about. A fellow featherweight who's making quite a name for himself, and everyone seems to be speaking about him at the moment. Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor.
Yeah, I want to get your take on him. How do you feel he's changed the sport in Ireland, and more so the effect it's had on the UK MMA scene?
I think he's doing everything right. A lot of people don't like him, but I think he's doing a really, really good job. He's selling himself really well, and he thinks a lot like me. He visions it like me. I can see what's happening, and that's all part of law of attraction. And my coach got me involved with it, and my teammate Chris Coleman got me involved with law of attraction, and I started reading the books. And everyone who's listening are reading it. Do yourselves a favour and start believing in the law of attraction, reading the books, because how it works. So I understand what Conor's saying. I understand how he's believing it and how he is. Only thing what I don't agree with what he do is disrespecting the other fighters who are doing really, really well in the UFC. Right, yeah. All the top 10. I'm not one to disrespect the fighters. That's just him. If he wants to do that, that's fair enough. But yeah, what he's doing is perfect and good on him.
Do you feel like he could be possibly the next big pay-per-view star?
He already is.
Yeah? You'd rank him there already?
He already is, so that's what I've seen on social media, so good on him.
Yeah, and you mentioned in your post-fight scrum that now you're back on track and it's time to climb the ladder to the gold. So with regards to McGregor, how do you feel you'd match up in a potential fight with him? Because there is a legitimate chance that you could meet him at the top of the pile one day.
I've got no doubt I will meet him at the top of the pile. I've no doubt that I'll meet all of them. Yeah. And my fight with Conor, I've just pushed the pace. A lot of fighters play into his game. And they take the backward step and they let him throw those shots, but it's not about what he's going to throw, it's about what you're going to throw. So yeah, I just pushed the pace, and I know that if I catch anyone in that division with the power I've got, that it should have the same outcome as the weekend. So yeah, that's that.
Before we get to that part of your career though, what are your immediate goals going forward? Are there any particular things in your game that you feel you need to work on specifically?
I'm learning every day. Every fighter's learning every day. You can't just think that you're a well-rounded fighter. Obviously, you can believe that you're a well-rounded fighter. But everybody's getting better every day. Everybody's getting better. Everybody's learning. So you can't just think that your arsenal is all prim and proper. My coach, Darren Morris, I believe he is the best coach in the world. The amount of stuff that he knows he's like a Rubik's cube, what you can't figure out. It's like he's just got one thing after another thing after another thing, and he understands the mechanics of how the body moves and how the footwork moves, and not in a Thai way, not in a mixed martial arts way from wrestling into MMA. It's perfect, and that's our style, and that's why we've got the best fighters in the UK, I believe. So yeah, you can't just think that about your fighting. Every day I'm learning, so I've still got a lot to learn, and I will always learn. My coach is 40, I think he's 41, 42. He's still learning now. He's just getting better and better. Age is nothing, but everybody's learning every day.
So for you moving forward, obviously we spoke about you having an incredibly long layoff. Would you like a quick turnaround to get back into the octagon quickly?
Yeah, I would like a quick turnaround, but obviously I would love to fight in London. Is it February?
Yeah, I believe it's February card, yeah.
Yeah, if I have to wait an extra month or 2 months, I will fight on that, because that's another dream come true, fighting in London. So I'll wait for the London card. That's perfect for me, and it gives me more time to get better. Yeah, every day I'm getting better, so I'll just be an even better fighter than what I was on the weekend. So yeah, I'm happy.
And obviously, you've said that you're not the type of fighter to call people out and disrespect people, but in terms of your next challenge, do you have an idea of how far up the rankings you'd be aiming for?
Anyone who's above me, obviously I don't want to fight anyone who's behind me. I want to fight people who's in front of me. But opponents. So I mean, this is another thing what Conor McGregor says. What he's absolutely bang on in what he says. He doesn't fighting. There's only yourself you've got to worry about.
Exactly. Yeah.
You've got to implement your game. You've got to implement your fight, your game plan onto whoever's in front of you. It doesn't matter who's in front of you. It doesn't matter what they bring to the table. Because once you think about what they're bringing to the table, that's when you're worrying about what they're going to do. Forget that. It's about what you're going to do and then implementing your game plan. So opponent-wise, I'm not bothered.
Well, Matt, whoever you do end up facing next, we look forward to it. Before you go, is there anything you'd like to add or anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I would just like to thank everybody down at Allison Submission and Unit 7 gym. People at Sandy Holt's gym who was helping me spar for this fight. Coach Darren Morris, he puts his endless time into me and effort, and made me the fighter who I am and given me the skills of what I've got. I can't thank him enough. Close friend and teammate Chris Holban, ex-Metals for sponsoring me for this fight. Fight Store Pro in Newcastle, they've helped me out tremendously why I wasn't fighting. They believed in me when times were hard. Same with Smuggling Duds. And everybody's helped me for this fight. Rob Lloyd. And everybody. I can't thank them enough. If I missed anybody, I apologise.
Alright, Mike, well, we thank you again for taking the time to speak to us, and obviously congratulations on the win again, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.
Thank you very much.
Right, thank you.
Cheers, Bob.